everyone, this is Michelle with Star One Realty Group, and I'm sitting here with one of my three favorite sons, Tyler. And Tyler works for us. And so Tyler, what made you get into this business even though you have 3 degrees?
I like to always tell people I got my license 2 years ago, about to get my broker's associate, but in reality, I've been doing this for over 20 years, since the time I could rollerblade. I remember as a kid, me and my little brothers and my best friend, Big Jeff's son, Jeffrey, we used to sit around the house all afternoon. We'd be rolling up newspapers, getting ink all over our hands, rubber banding them and just shoving them into trash bags. And at the end of the day, when the sun started to go down and get cooler, we'd go out to the neighborhood we'd want to throw papers at, and we'd just throw papers for hours until our arms would almost fall off. And we'd be in the back of the PT Cruiser, and when we need to fill up, we'd grab another bag and we'd just keep throwing. And we always got paid in soda and candy and chips at 7-Eleven. We'd descend on 7-Eleven, just get everything we could grab and fill up. And if we did an extra good job that day, we'd go to Toys R Us, we'd get some Pokemon cards and stuff like that. So it was always fun. So I was always kind of eventually going to end up in real estate one way or another. So.
And those, we call those the good old days. Yeah, we used to crank up the tunes, and as soon as the night went down, we went out. So Tyler, what do you do for Star One now that you're full-time agent for us? What do you do for the team?
Like I said, I got my license, so I sell houses here and there. But what I really spend the bulk of my time with Star One doing is I'm the closing coordinator. So how I like to describe that to people is the minute it goes under contract, I get it from contract to close. So I'm coordinating documents and contact information, communication between everybody that's involved, between once you sign on the dotted line and once you get your check. So, I talk to the title company who's handling all the, legal stuff on the back end. I'm talking with the buyer's agents, making sure they have all the info they need, all the documents they need, HOA documents, contact information, odds and ends like that. And so, for lack of better terms, I'm kind of a glorified babysitter, just making sure everybody does their job and everybody has what they need to get everything done.
Definitely so, and he's a tremendous help to me, because that's my part of it, is now I watch over the people to do that. So Tyler, if you were talking to a prospective seller, what are some things that you would tell them that once they go under contract, they need to do so that it would make things go smoother and no surprises?
Yeah. So, definitely once the house goes on the market, I'd start thinking about getting things together, such as your HOA documents, your HOA updated contact information, since that tends to change, from year to year. That definitely would help a lot, because a lot of the time when it goes under contract, the buyers want to see, what kind of rules and regulations am I going to have to follow, and who do I need to get in contact with for the application and the fee. So that would definitely help once you go on the market to kind of get that together. What also would help is if you get any receipts or warranties for anything you've done with your house recently, any kind of engineering reports, God forbid you had anything like a settlement issue or a sinkhole, you're going to definitely need that paperwork, because if you're waiting to get that once you go under contract, it can take some time, because usually you have to go through the county, and we all know how fast the government works, so it takes some time. So it's definitely something you want to look at getting together once you go on the market versus once you go under contract.
And lots of times our prospective buyers, they're getting a mortgage for the house, so the seller has to do some things to make the process smooth. And what are some things that the lender might require from the seller to get that loan through?
The appraiser comes out, they're getting stingier and stingier these days on, you got to earn every penny they give you. So anything you can show them, like, hey, we did this, it's definitely going to help you a long way, because, if you don't have a record, they just might be, oh, you're just like Joe down the street, when in reality you put 10,000 here, a couple thousand there. So it definitely helps to have that in order, and you want your house to be sparkling clean and ready to go on appraisal day, because that's when they decide how much they're going to give the buyer, and whether or not the contract price meets what they think.
And one other thing is, if you see the episode on title, it'll tell you what happens at the closing table. But basically, Tyler's job is to make sure that before you show up at title, they have all their documents. The buyer has all their documents, and we've had some things happen, and that we kind of try to avoid. So, what is like one of the main things, like the most important thing that sometimes we just take for granted, but?
Yeah, I mean, it should go without saying. Obviously, you're going to bring your keys to closing day, so that way the buyers have those. But one thing that you would think you wouldn't even have to say, but it's happened before, I'm sure it'll happen again, is on closing day, make sure your electric's on, make sure your water's on, because they're going to want to double check that. But you also want to have your stuff packed up and moved out before closing day.
Yes. That
needs to happen before anything actually is done. So. Yeah.
We've scrambled quite a few times on that, and
me and my brothers, we moved out a condo and a house on the closing day because they didn't realize they had to be moved out that day.
Right, and then we also had it where the one time when the movers came and they packed up half their stuff and then they didn't return. They said they were done. So definitely want to have everything packed and ready to go for that final walkthrough, which is usually the last day before. But I'm very thankful that I have Tyler, and he's my right-hand man, as he is today. He's my right-hand man, and he makes everything go smoother, makes everything, where, I can work on the selling of the house and the, marketing of it, and frees us up time to do that. And that way then, you got someone who has a degree in finance and a degree in economics and computers and attends Harvard. So, you're in really good hands once you go under contract with us. So, and I have to brag because he's my kid. Anyhow. So Tyler, how many houses did you close successfully last year?
Last year, I want to say it was almost 200, and this year we're coming up on 80 and not even halfway through, so.
Yep. It's pretty amazing because he does the buyers and the listings for us. So,
see a lot of contracts.
See a lot of contracts through. So Tyler, let's toast to another good year. This is Michelle and Tyler, and we are Rockin' Florida Real Estate.
Hey Gary, how you doing?
Well, good morning, Jeff. Good to see you.
A couple days since I've seen you.
I know. Nice to see you again. How is everything?
I'm doing good. This is Gary Kemp, Castle Home Inspection. Gary's our home inspector for all the houses that we have the buyers and the sellers for. Gary, how long have we known each other? Like 20 years?
Every bit of 20 years.
Oh my gosh. How many homes have you done inspections for me?
We have probably done hundreds of homes together in various areas.
Various areas around the court. Why don't you tell us what a home inspector does? Take about a minute and a half. Tell us what a home inspector does.
Well, my name is Gary Kempf. My company is Castle Home Inspection. I'm an ASHI certified home inspector for over 20 years. That's the American Society of Home Inspectors. We are the only nationally certified inspection organization in the nation. To give you a brief overview of what our standards of practice are, we have to do with a complete report, written report with pictures, a total structural evaluation, heating and air conditioning, plumbing, including all of the bathrooms, interior, windows, doors, floors, walls, a full roof inspection, including an attic inspection also, and also we give you a final report with pictures, same day usually. And one other thing, because of our state of Florida, I offer a wind mitigation for your insurance discounts, which was created by the state of Florida. People can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars per year with a proper wind mitigation, okay? The other thing is a 4-point inspection, which was created by the insurance companies for properties that are 30 years old or older. It's required. They want to know about the condition and the adequacy of the heating and air, the plumbing, the roof, with documentation and pictures to make sure it's in no hazards or in good working condition. Otherwise, you will not close on the house. You must have that item repaired by a qualified either electrician or roofer, whatever we find. That all has to be documented. So I furnish the full-blown home inspection, the 4-point inspection if needed, and definitely the wind mitigation for your discounts. You get that all same day. I email and fax everything has to be done, and hopefully your client will be happy with the results.
Hi everyone, Bruce and Michelle, Rockin' Florida Real Estate. On this episode, we're going to be talking about our time at the Villages with REO Speedwagon. So Bruce, what can you tell us about REO Speedwagon?
So a couple quick facts. They started back in '67 in Champlain, Illinois. They didn't hit big till 80, 81, but currently in the band you got the original keyboardist, Neil Dowdy. I'm sure I butchered that. And then shortly thereafter, Kevin Cronin joined. He's their main singer. He's their face of the band.
And ladies, who doesn't remember Kevin Cronin with the long, dark, curly hair and the beautiful voice? So.
And now it's white and curly and
he's still alive.
Multicolored glasses.
And he's still really cute, jumping around up there, playing our favorite songs.
And then you got Bruce Hall on bass. He's got the long blonde hair now, or actually it might be white, I'm not sure. You got the lead guitar, Dave Amato, who's known, who we picked up early on for always
smiling, always beautiful smile. Looks like he's probably the sweetest person anyone would know. And the person that I was like in awe of was the drummer. And what was his name?
His name was Brian Hitt.
And he has got, like, if you like muscles, this guy he always wears sleeveless, and I couldn't believe it, but you would probably have to work out to be able to.
He was banging away, yeah. They're in shape, and Dave Amato had said how much they practice. They've been doing this for all these years, but they really still do it, and their saying was, our fans work hard for their money to buy the tickets, we want to give them a show.
Exactly.
And Dave was a funny butt of a joke from Kevin Cronin. Kevin goes, so I want you to meet the new guy here. And he introduced Dave Amato, and they introduced Brian Hitt also. They started within a month of each other 29 years ago, and those are the new guys.
Oh my
I thought that was hilarious.
That was hilarious. And what were the albums of the time that we all loved?
Their biggest album, which put them on the map, they toiled for 10, 15 years. But in 80, 81, they came out with High Infidelity, which to me is one of the better albums. I mean, high school for me, so them, Styx, Journey, Foreigner, Rush, they're the big ones.
Is that the one that had our favorite song, Keep On Loving You?
Yep, Keep On Loving You, Can't Fight This Feeling, Take It On the Run.
Right. And did they have any other albums?
So these are some of their other ones that I've gotten. Also, CDs, cassettes.
Isn't it amazing he has these albums from?
And they're all mint condition.
Original, when they first came out. So where did we go to see this concert?
So we went up to the Villages one afternoon. After work, we head up there about 4 o'clock. It was about an hour and a half drive. And if you've never been to the Villages, get ready to go around circles because everything through there is roundabouts. I'm sure it helps their traffic, but as the cars are traveling the roundabouts, the golf carts are just whizzing on the pathways all around you, and that's got to be how everybody gets around up there.
It is. I think everybody had their own golf cart. They had it all personalized, and when you went to the auditorium where the concert was, which is called the Stand.
Susan Morse, I think, performing arts.
Susan Morse, my bad. anyways, when you went there, they just had their golf carts parked like cars. But that was kind of interesting. And anyone who's been to or hasn't been to the Villages is a 55 plus community, and it's a city. There's thousands of people, and you can get all kinds of different types of homes, but it's a 55 plus, so you can get your condos, and you can get your houses, you can get your big houses. They have a hotel there.
Hotels, some restaurants, World of Beer.
Yeah, all kinds of things. So, you know, if you're just looking to go someplace and you live and everything's right at, you know, within a golf cart's drive, that is definitely the place to go. And I've actually sold homes there, even though we're, you know, housed down in PASCO County. We have sold things up at the Villages. It's a great place, and people here want to go up there and get away from it all. So, what else do we know? Like, about the...
So I'll give you a trivia question about REO.
All right. Well,
so what was the band named after?
I was thinking it was maybe named after a car.
Close. So they were named after a 1950 REO Speedwagon truck. And the REO Speedwagon company was started by R.E. Olds, who then started up Oldsmobile and was the founder of Oldsmar just south of us, about 15 miles. And but he was in with REO Speedwagon, and the band really liked the name, and they grabbed it and ran with it. And you know, we're looking 50 years later now.
Wow. And did we say when this band started? What year?
1967 out of Champlain, Illinois, down by the state universities down in southern Illinois.
And
a lot of Illinois bands.
And didn't they say that's where they started just playing in dive?
Yep, dive bars for the college kids,
right.
And they just kept hitting it night after night, month after month.
And for our concert, they did personalize it a little bit. They said they had come down to Florida, and I believe they were in Orlando, and they set up in a big field, and thousands of people came. And at the time,
Pre-Disney.
Yeah, pre-Disney. They said at the time they only really knew one song, and they hoped that one day, he said, one day what?
Kevin Cronin goes, one day we want to come back to Florida and have the whole crowd singing all of our songs and know every word to them, and they've succeeded many times over with that.
Definitely so. So we had a wonderful time seeing REO at the Villages. And on our next episode, where are we going, Bruce?
Going to the Florida Strawberry Festival on a cold night, and where we saw Styx. And it was a great show.
It was a fantastic show. So we'll see you next week on the next episode of Bruce and Michelle Rockin'
Florida Real Estate.
Hi everyone, this is Jeff and Michelle on The American Dream. Check out our featured home.
Hi, it's Logan Rame, Star One Realty's buyer specialist here at 7312 Gulf Way in Hudson, Florida. Now come with me and let's check out this home. Here we have a 3-story home with 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, sitting on just over 2,800 square feet. This home offers 2 master suites, and you don't want to miss the sunset from these 3 balconies. Now let's meet you outside by the pool area. Check out the view here at one of our balconies. It's great for looking at the sunset. Can you imagine drinking a margarita poolside at this waterfront property? This home has 65 feet of waterfront exposure. It has a 20,000-pound boat lift and is only minutes away from the Gulf. But now let's take it to Jeff and Michelle at Pete's Grand Central.
Hi everyone, we're here today at Pete's Grand Central in downtown Newport Richey, and Michelle and I are going to be talking to Pete about what's going on. Michelle, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So Pete, you're fairly new to downtown Newport Richey. What made you come to our neighborhood?
Just been here for 30 years. Want to be a part of downtown. It's just a great place and great people.
Who likes to come here?
I have a lot of people like to come here. People that enjoy that. They see the Pac-Man games, they see the pinball, everything's old school, and that's letting people live their childhood dream all over again.
Okay. And then I saw on the back you have some type of a retro store. What is that all about?
I call it my antique man cave store with a women's den, so there's a little bit for everything. Everything you see in here, if it's here, you can buy it and take it home with you.
What happens here on the weekends? I know you have activities here that are in the weekend.
I'll go from old car shows to cornhole tournaments and do live music on Friday and Saturday nights.
All right. And then I see a fire engine. Is that for real?
That is real. That's 42 Mac. I found that in the field, and we cut the front end off it, had it all wired, and then wanted to be a part of the city, so I put the Newport Richey Fire Department logo on there for all the firefighters, and we took their picture with the firefighters for EMS Appreciation Week. So a lot of fun, and just brings back a little bit of history, and people seem to like it.
All right, do you do anything fun with it though?
Oh yeah, when we blow a keg, that baby goes off, or a last call when it's time to go home.
And did you say when you get a big tip too?
Oh, when you get a big tip, I let the girls ring the bell.
Oh, I was gonna say, I bet those girls, they get lots of tips all the time.
They
so
enjoy
that thing's probably always going off.
They enjoy it. It's I'm glad it's there, and it was just a perfect fit between the TVs.
Well, Pete, thank you so much for sitting with us today, and y'all come out and come to Pete's Grand Central, play some games, have a beer, just hang out and have a lot of fun.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Pete. Thank
Appreciate
you very much.
much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.